Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
And a very good morning. Welcome to Valley Talk Live. We are from the Albany studios. I'm Dave Adams, and it's the second Wednesday of the month, and that means it is time for Vet Talk. And here is the host of Vet Talk, Victor Kuhns.
Good morning. How is everybody this morning? I hope that everybody's out there enjoying the sunshine. A couple of things we want to talk about here this morning before we get with our guest is we want to talk about the tribute to the troops. The 16th and 17th of this month, we're going to be having a run starting at Harley-Davidson in Salem. Kickstands up at 9 o'clock. We're going to be going out visiting families of ones that have lost a son or a daughter in the war. So if you want to be a part of it, you can call in to KGAL radio station, and or you can get a hold of me at 541-905-7237, and we can help you out. Also, one of the things that we need to talk about today is our troops overseas and their needs. Some of these troops over there are looking for the care packages from each one of us. We're looking for socks, T-shirts, toothbrushes, toothpaste, health and comfort items. You can contact me again at 541-905-7237. We need to take care of our men and women that are serving this country and sacrificing everything. One of the things I want to do, and I always do, is I try to thank our men and women that are serving. But most of all, I want to thank their families for their sacrifice and giving up their husbands or wives, sons and daughters, to continue to give us the freedom that we enjoy here in this country. One of the things that's very important to me is vets helping vets. And that's every vet out there has an obligation to help another vet. And that obligation means to be there, to give them a hand up, shake their hand, be there with an ear to listen. Past generations of veterans from World War II, Vietnam veterans, we didn't understand or have that opportunity. So today, our young people coming home, we need to be there. And all of you people in the military, understand what I'm saying when it's time for us to get up and make sure we've got their six. And if we've got their six, they're going to be good. Today, we're going to be talking to Gus Bedwell from Oregon State University. He's the Veteran Service Advisor. And I'm going to ask him here just in to give us a little bit about his job and what he does, and then I'm going to start picking his brain a little.
Okay, well, hey, Victor, I appreciate you having me on the radio show this morning, and let's talk a little bit about Veteran Service Advisor position at Oregon State University, and what do I do there? Historically, the state of Oregon has had a group of veterans advocates called Veteran Service Officers that have been at the county and state level, but a couple of years ago they decided to put campus Veteran Service Officers on each one of the community colleges and universities throughout the state of Oregon. We did that for a couple of years, and I actually was one of those campus Veteran Service Officers, and it was such a great program that the universities and community colleges realized that they needed somebody to, in addition to their veteran certifying officials, to help them as veterans are coming back to community colleges and universities to obtain their education. So Oregon State University already had some programs already established. They had a leader that was dealing with some of those programs but couldn't do some of the more expansive type stuff that they wanted to do. So they created the Veteran Service Advisor position with the intent of having somebody on campus that can interface with the veterans and their dependents and help them navigate the entire VA benefits process. My role there with the veterans is to be able to help them find those VA benefits that they're not accessing, and then get them to the individuals that can help them access them, such as the county veteran service officers and the state veteran service officers, or the VA medical system individuals or vet centers. You know, there's a variety of benefits that veterans, when they're at school, they just think of the education benefits and they don't know about all the other ones, or maybe they're just not focused on them. So making sure that they understand that they're out there. As the Veteran Service Advisor, I also work with the staff and administrators on Oregon State University to make sure that they have the resources that they need in order to help their students as they navigate the education system. We have two wonderful groups on Oregon State University that their focus is student veterans. One is the Oregon State University Work Group, and it consists of professionals across the campus that actually look at different things that they can do for students, and they do the work at making sure that things are taken care of for student veterans. And then there's our Veterans Advisory Committee, which consists of individuals across the colleges and the campuses at Oregon State University and amongst the community as well, to see what is out there for veterans in general, what are the different resources we have that are available to help the veterans as they navigate the process. It's quite a group. I'll tell you, I'm very proud of Oregon State University, and I wouldn't have left where I was at if I wasn't proud of what they're doing and excited about being part of the expansion process. So,
I know you've spent a lot of your life assisting veterans, helping veterans, and guiding them through the processes from disability benefits programs to educational benefits programs, even some in home loan programs. But most of all, I was really proud when I heard that you had taken this job at OSU, because our kids coming home and trying to manipulate through the system of getting their educational benefits. And a little bit of what I want to talk about early into the program, and we're going to talk about again at the end of the program, is our veterans that are coming home. So often I hear from them that they are having trouble getting their benefits before school start or getting them started. What can we do, and how can we advise our veterans out there to make sure their benefits are in place when they start school?
Okay, and that's a really good question. And part of the issue here is that the VA is just so overwhelmed with all of the applications that are coming towards them and the certifications that are coming towards them for any type of benefit, not just education benefit. Within the education system, though, we answer to Muskogee, Oklahoma. That's where all of our VA education benefits that are GI Bill related go to. And they're just overwhelmed with all the changes and things that are happening. So probably the biggest thing that we would tell veterans is be proactive. If you know you're going to go to school, start the process early. If you're going to go to fall term, start it now. Make sure that you get admitted. Make sure that you apply for the benefit. Once you've applied for the benefit, take a copy of your application down to the VA certifying officials so they can have it. So once they see that you're registered, they can go ahead and certify your courses. The sooner you start this process, the better. Now, here's the challenge, though, is that the VA is still behind. And so even if you are very proactive and you get the benefits in there within, a couple, 3 weeks before school starts, it may be within that, first month or so before you receive any kind of benefits. It may take, at least 30 days before the VA can catch up and get you those benefits. So the second part of this is I would encourage veterans, if they are planning on using this particular benefit as a resource and counting on it, to be prepared for that lag, to have an alternate plan, to apply for financial aid through the school, and because a lot of veterans don't realize that they have financial aid that they're eligible for, and different things like that.
Well, Gus, and I hear you telling them to apply and all of this, but one of the things that we need to really make sure that they understand is where can they go to apply for this, and can they get a hold of you, and how do they do that? Okay,
so let's answer that question. When it comes to GI Bill benefits in particular, I would encourage any and all veterans to apply online, okay? If you don't have access to the internet, come see me. I can help you with that process. And where you would apply online is on the VA's website. And so it's www.va.gov. And under Veteran Services, there's a toolbar that if you take your mouse and you hover over Veteran Services, you'll see GI Bill. If you click on GI Bill, there's a link within the GI Bill website that says VONAP, VONAPP, and that's the VA's online application process. By applying online, a couple of things can happen. You could speed up the process, because if you snail mail it, it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks for them to even get through their mailroom. By applying online, it's submitted automatically. It gets picked up every day at the beginning of the day, so it saves 2 or 3 weeks right there. In addition, if you have a copy of your discharge paperwork, submit that with your application. You can scan it in and attach it as a document. By doing these little things, you're saving yourself weeks of time of process. For financial aid, you want to go on the financial aid's website. And here's the thing: there's a lot of financial aid websites out there that'll let you apply for financial aid for a fee. That's not what you want to do. It shouldn't cost you any money to file for financial aid. So you just put into your search engine FAFSA, free aid for students, and it's exactly that. It's free financial aid. And then you also want to get connected with your school's financial aid office. At Oregon State University, we have some wonderful people that work with financial aid, and they're glad to help you, and they want to see you apply for it so you can get those benefits.
Okay, and how do they get a hold of you?
So to get a hold of me, if you want to get a hold of me via email, you would email me at gus.bedwell, BEDWELL, at OregonState.edu, or you can call me at 541-737-7662.
One of the things that's been brought up to me in many times the question's been asked, and I go out and I try to dig up the research on it, and that is disabled veterans that are coming into the universities, but more so that we have a lot of veterans that are receiving 100%, 70, 80%, and their children and their spouses are entitled to benefits for education. How do they proceed to get those for their spouses and children? Okay, so if you are a veteran who is 100%, what we call 100% disabled by VA standards, either through what you call individual unemployability or you're rated at 100%, you qualify, and your student, your dependent is a resident of the state of Oregon, you would qualify for what they call the Dependents Tuition Waiver Program. And it basically helps pay for the individual's tuition. The fees are still the responsibility of the student. Now, on top of that, and here's the interesting part, is that the state says you have to be 100% disabled. When you flip over to the VA side, there is another benefit called Chapter 435 Dependents Education Assistance. And that particular benefit, you have to be considered 100% disabled with the permanent and total tag. And there are several ways to be 100% disabled but not have permanent and total tag. And if you have the permanent total tag, though, then you qualify for Dependents Education Assistance, and that's a monetary benefit that comes directly to the student, depending on the rate of pursuit at the school, how many credits they're taking. And they are two separate programs. They are one is run by the federal and one is run by the state, and that's what the parents and the students need to understand. And you have to apply for both of them in separate ways. Again, I'm glad to help with that process, and it's a fairly easy process. It also can be done online for the federal program, the Chapter 35, and then the state program we can do with our veteran certifying officials. Well, that's great. It's wonderful to see that we're doing all of this for our veterans and our veteran families, because in my life I run into them every day, the families. And we sometimes forget that the families give up a lot. And when they get a returning husband or mother or father or mother coming home, and they got into that position of being 100% permanent and total, that sometimes the family feels left out. They feel lost, but yet the communities don't realize what they've given up to give us what we have. So we need to give back to the families to bring that forward. And what you're doing, it sounds like it's a great program, and what we're doing throughout the colleges. When we come back, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, I want to get into not only talking some more about getting the benefits, but one of the things that I want to talk about is how do these veterans get credits for their time in service.
Okay.
And we need to talk about that, give these veterans some guidelines and where to go. So we're going to take a break here, and we will be back here in just a few.
Willamette Valley for just a short time, or possibly most of your life, you probably know a lot about Mennonite Village of Albany. In fact, their reputation is well known throughout the Pacific Northwest. As you know, they are a Christ-centered community in the Mennonite tradition of faith, family, and friendship. As a nonprofit continuing care retirement community, they provide housing and support services designed to meet the changing needs of persons of all faiths and beliefs. The Mennonite Village offers a variety of retirement living arrangements, including active living homes, congregate living apartments, assisted living apartments, Alzheimer's and dementia care, and nursing and rehabilitation. As a 501c nonprofit organization, the Village can offer very reasonable rates for their services. The Mennonite Village welcomes you and invites you to check them out at 5353 Columbus Street Southeast, online at MennoniteVillage.org, or give them a call at 541-928-7232. That's 928-7232.
Well, I like to see what the farmers brought from the fields around to the market lot. Seems every week it's a different crop down at the farmers market. Down at the farmers market, the best berries and cherries you've ever seen. Sweet corn, tomatoes, peaches and beans, and cider and pumpkins for Halloween. Down at the farmers market. Down at the farmers market.
The Corvallis Albany Farmers Markets are now open every Saturday in the City Hall parking lot at 4th and Ellsworth in downtown Albany, and on the north end of the riverfront in downtown Corvallis, and every Wednesday from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. Again at the north end of the riverfront in downtown Corvallis. Enjoy live music, a large variety of locally grown farm products, and for more info, log on to locallygrown.org.
At the farmers market, friends and neighbors gather round. At the farmers market, see what can be found. There's fruit from the orchards and produce from the ground, and you can meet the folks who grew it when the farmers come to town.
You hear a lot of opinions about business these days. Some people even say that business is a four-letter word. Well, the members of the Albany Area Chamber of Commerce agree. Here's one, jobs. Here's another, life. And some more, kids, work, need, team, help, heal, play, shop. The list goes on. Because when we talk about business in Albany, here's what it really means, community. Which is a 9-letter word, but you get the point. Say what you will about business with a capital B, but when it comes to Albany, the thousands of our neighbors and friends who own and work in our local businesses are the threads in the fabric of our community. And even beyond the jobs and products and services they provide, they volunteer their time and resources to dozens of charities and community efforts. It all makes Albany a better place for all of us to live. What do you know? Another 4-letter word. So no matter how you spell it, here's the bottom line. Without business, there is no community. A message from your Albany Area Chamber of Commerce.
The news you need, smart talk, and just enough sports. That's what you'll get from News Talk 1580 KGAL.
We're back here with Gus Bedwell here from Oregon State University, and he is the Veterans Service Advisor. And we were sitting here talking, and like I said earlier, I wanted to bring up with Gus about veterans coming home, getting out of the military, getting their life together, and they want to go to school. And one of the things that they've done is they've done a lot of things in the military for their 2, 4, 6, 8 years, or retired. And so often they don't realize that their time in service can be credited towards their education. How do they go about doing that?
Okay, well, each branch has a transcript that basically takes their military experience and puts it into language that the universities and community colleges can look at and determine if there's any college credits that can be applied from that particular military experience. And each branch has a, like the military has the ARCH transcript, the Army has the ARCH transcript. What I would tell the individual is as they're going through the admissions process at any university or community college, especially OSU, to checkbox that, that you served in the military so people know you're a veteran, and talk to an admissions counselor on what the process is and what they need to do to get their military experience transferred over. Majority of the time, what they want is they want you to apply for the ARCH transcript or whatever that branch of services transcript is, and have it officially sent to the university, and then the university will provide information back to the student based upon the degree that they're pursuing and that type of thing, on what kind of college credits can be applied using their military experience.
And where can they go to apply for these transcripts?
Most of them are online. So, like for instance, I mentioned the arts because I'm an Army guy myself, and so I know the arts transcript is out there, and I've actually applied for it myself. If you put in military school transcripts or military education transcripts in your Google search engine, you'll typically find all of the transcript links for any of the branches service, and then it'll ask you a few pieces of information such as when you were in and that type of thing and your name, and submit it to them, and then they'll also send you some feedback on what's the process.
So they can do that online, and that's just no more than going in and just Googling military transcripts.
Right.
So another thing that is brought to my attention, you and I were talking about a little bit, but I had run into it several years ago when I was going to LBCC after I'd had my stroke, and that is accommodations for disabled veterans from the universities that can accommodate physical disabilities to where they have trouble maneuvering around. What does Oregon State do for those veterans?
So Oregon State University has a great program called Disability Access Services, and they are professionals within the system that their main goal is to help any student who has a disability and needs accommodation to try to help find what that accommodation is and how to set it forth for that individual. Unfortunately, in the military, there's a stigma about asking for help when you have an issue, and so as we cross over as veterans, we typically don't want to have to ask for help on a continuous basis. And so what we do is I would encourage anybody who has a particular disability through the military or just a disability in general to connect with our Disability Access Services Department and ask them what type of services are available. Bring in any documentation. A visit doesn't hurt. I mean, there's some great professionals there. My own supervisor, Dr. Tracy Bentley Townland, is the director for Disability Access Services, and she's very vet-friendly and wants to help veterans as they navigate this process. I wouldn't hesitate to ask for help, and if they need some information about it, they can always come to my office, and I can help them with that process as well.
Well, you know, as a veteran, this is a question might be out of your realm, but I think you can help us.
Okay.
We have a lot of veterans that have come home. They're now, such as our Vietnam veterans, are coming back to school. I've had a lot of them contact me and say, well, I want to go back to school. I've got to change my trade and everything else. But one of the questions that comes up is, I have a son and I have a daughter that wants to go to OSU at the same time, but they're wanting to go and be part of a military family such as ROTC.
Okay.
Can you give us information on how they can go about contacting and who they would contact to get into the ROTC program?
Yes, definitely. We have a strong ROTC program amongst all the branches at Oregon State University. I'm very proud of their accomplishments and the things that they do, and I've met with every single commander at Oregon State University of the ROTC programs, and they're very supportive of having veterans on campus and interfacing with veterans. To refer a student from a veteran or any student in particular that is interested in an ROTC program, be glad to do that, and be glad to connect them with the individuals who can help them get through the process. And I think ROTC is a great program. I was enlisted myself, but I have a son who wants to go into Air Force ROTC, so yeah, I'm very happy to support that.
Well, that's wonderful. You know, as we're going on here, one of the things that I want to let everybody know out there is that while Gus is here this morning, and if you've got any questions out there, whether you're a family member or you're prior military or in the military, and you have questions for Gus from Oregon State University, you can call in here at the radio station at 541-981-2195. And you can actually ask Gus a question right here on the air. It's 541-981-2195. And he can answer some of your questions here on the air, and it'll also help other people. So remember, call in and ask to tell them that you would like to ask a question about the education process at Oregon State University and the community colleges, also the U of O here in Oregon, Portland University. We have a lot of programs throughout the state and a lot of universities, and so it's going to be really important. In the finances for these students that are coming home, or our soldiers coming home and going to college, is their concerns is job searches while they're in the universities. Do you involve yourself with helping the students find part-time work while they're going to school?
So there's a number of avenues that students can use for part-time work. One is that, you know, one of the nice things about being part of a university system is that there's always student employment. I get announcements probably on a daily basis of some type of student employment throughout the university, whether it's something as simple as working at the Memorial Union, helping with janitorial work, to coordinating events, to working in the cultural centers. So there's always some type of employment. There are eligibility requirements with each different type of employment, so I would tell the individual, you know, you want to check with that department and find out what those are. Then there's, in some cases, there's veterans work study positions. Those are far and few between, but they are out there, and trying to get people connected with that. OSU has a great career services program in the basement of the Kerr Administration Building that actually helps anybody who's looking for work through the process. They want to see you be successful. You know, they want to see if you're going to, you know, go to school to get a degree. They want to make sure that once you get your degree that you can get a job afterwards. Then there's also our employment department individuals, James Munger from the Albany Employment Department, Cliff Springstead from the Corvallis Employment Department. These are veterans reps specific, and they help veterans navigate through the entire process. So there's a number of different avenues, as I said, and be glad to share any of that at any time with any veteran who has questions.
Well, one of the things that I run across, too, again, I get so many questions asked to me with Vets Helping Vets, and that's why I'm so glad to have you here today, Gus. And one of the questions is are there programs on the campus for vets to come together and work together, such as counseling groups, communication, bringing vet families together through the university, so that they feel like they've been left out, and the community don't understand where they've been, and connecting with other veterans gives them that opportunity. Do you have those programs?
We do, and you know, a university level is kind of unique in the sense that, I mean, you have students that are coming in and out of the system, and they graduate and they're going to school and that type of thing. And but at the university level, at Oregon State University, we have the Veterans Family Student Association, and VFSA, as we call it, and they have several veterans that are part of their membership, and they meet on a pretty regular basis. We also have a part of the Associated Oregon State University student body. We have a task force director that his main focus is to make sure that veterans programs are on the forefront of everybody's thought when it comes to helping Oregon State University veterans. So there are established programs within Oregon State University. Sometimes they're little more supported than other times by the students, just because it depends on if it's, you know, that time of the term or the finals week, that type of stuff. But we also have in our Memorial Union, which is a building that was dedicated for veterans back in World War I time frame. We have a veterans lounge that's in there, and it's a very nice facility, nice quiet place to go and study. There's computers, there's different activities that are held in there. Matter of fact, on May 15th, which is a Wednesday, next Wednesday, the VA is going to be launching its application process for the Veterans Retraining Assistance Program, and I plan to spend the entire day in the Memorial Union Veterans Lounge, and available to all veterans, both OSU, LBCC, or any veterans coming off the street, to help them navigate that application process, because it's a huge benefit that's going to start July 1st, where veterans that are severely unemployed between the ages of 35 and 60 that are going into high demand occupations can get 12 months worth of Montgomery GI Bill benefits, as long as they don't have any other eligibility for any other GI Bill benefits or voc rehab.
So that kind of knocks me out. I'm a little past that 60 mark.
Maybe by a year or two, Victor.
But anyway, it's so good to hear all of these programs out there. And, as right now the commander of Vets Helping Vets, it's so interesting to me because we're so busy with our veterans and need more outlets. And just for you as an invitation, we... at Vets Helping Vets are there for any of your students that need additional support or training, and so they can get a hold of us anytime they want. Again, we want people to call in if you're interested and talk to Gus and ask him the questions you have on the forethought of your mind, and that's 541-981-2195. There are so many programs out there for veterans that probably all of them that we're talking about here are just the tip of the iceberg. We couldn't get to all of them today if we wanted to. But what we're going to do, Gus, is we're going to take a break here and let our sponsors have a word and make sure that we get right on time here and we get out of here at noon so that everybody can go out and enjoy the sunshine. But call in 541-981-2195, and we'll get back here in just a few minutes.
File, sponsored in part by 1-800-Flowers.com. Make someone smile today with 1-800-Flowers Smile Guarantee. In a moment, a special offer for you. This is Charles Osgood. There are shortages of cancer drugs for children. Dozens of cancer drugs are in short supply. Congress has been working for 14 months on legislation to require drug companies to tell the FDA if a shortage is developing. CBS News medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook went to Washington to find out what's taking so long and discovered what Washington is like these days, as you will hear after this. Mother's Day is this Sunday, so what are you waiting for? The time to send Mom something special is right now. Here's my suggestion. Do what I do and send her a stunning bouquet from the folks at 1-800-Flowers.com. All the moms in your life deserve the best. Your mom, your mother-in-law, your wife, your grandkids' mom. Take it from me. The rose bouquets from 1-800-Flowers.com are gorgeous. They'll show them how much you care, all backed by a 100% smile guarantee. Right now, 1-800-Flowers.com has a special offer. Since you listen to the Osgood File, order 24 multicolored roses for just $29.99. That's 2 dozen pink, orange, and yellow roses for only $29.99. This special is $20 off the regular price, but you must order by midnight tomorrow and use my last name, Osgood. Lock in this special offer now. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click on the radio microphone at the top of the home page, and enter Osgood, O-S-G-O-O-D. That's 1-800-Flowers.com and enter Osgood, or call 1-800-Flowers and mention Osgood. Order by midnight tomorrow. Dr. John LaPook went to the FDA, and the commissioner, Dr. Margaret Hamburg, told him,
the industry has to not be afraid to let the FDA know if they have a problem so that we can get in there and work with them to fix it before it results in a shortage.
The bipartisan bill to require that has been languishing in Congress.
We met with sponsors of the legislation, Republican Senator Susan Collins, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar, and Representatives Diana DeGette, a Democrat, and Tom Rooney, a Republican.
Republican Rooney told Dr. LaPook,
I don't know what has to happen for people to recognize that this has to happen.
Democrat Diana DeGette told him,
I think you should call the leadership and ask them why they haven't brought this bill up for a vote.
So we did. We showed up at Speaker of the House John Boehner's weekly press briefing. When we spoke to the legislators, they said to talk to you about the leadership.
I respect the committee process, and the committees have their work to do to investigate this.
Legislation has now cleared a committee, but still needs a vote by the full Senate. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid.
As one of the leaders, can you go and talk to somebody and say, come on, move it along? I mean,
Doctor,
what can you do?
I would say this. First of all, things have happened. We'll have it on the floor soon. It's a step in the right direction. But there's no way that I or anyone else can explain how slowly things move here in the Senate. It's been that way for 230 years.
There are successful treatments for cancer. Nobody has discovered a cure yet for Congress, though. The Osgood File, Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
It's a common complaint. People who are physically fit and at a stable weight still have bulges, rolls, and other small areas of fat that they can't get rid of, no matter how much they exercise or diet. Spot reducing fat through diet and exercise is practically impossible for many of us. Men and women alike face the frustrating truth every day. A muffin top, glove handles, back fat. Not much, but just enough to show through a snug-fitting t-shirt or blouse. These small areas of fat don't seem to warrant surgical procedure, but they're tempted. What else can they do? Now at Silver Falls Dermatology, you can attack these problem areas with the non-invasive Cool Sculpting procedure. Cool Sculpting utilizes a precisely controlled method to target, cool, and eliminate fat cells without damage to other tissue. Call Silver Falls Dermatology for an appointment at 866-599-DERM. That's 866-599-DERM. Or visit silverfallsderm.net.
Business owners, get more ROI from your advertising dollars with an ad in the CenturyLink Yellow Pages. You get double exposure, in print and online. Plus, you can add customized online services like high-quality video options, creative web design, reliable web hosting, and proven SEM tools that will help connect you with customers when they're ready to buy. Act now to get your ad. Call 1-888-9CTL-BOOK today. CenturyLink Yellow Pages. Real, affordable results.
Get tomorrow's news tonight. John Batchelor, Sunday through Friday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
You know, education amongst our veterans is very important. Our kids give up a lot of their life to go over and serve this country. They volunteer. They spend their day out there in the field with knapsacks and backpacks, 70, 80, 110 pounds, carrying them day in and day out. Whether it's our men or women, and they're out there searching for landmines, clearing roads, protecting each other. But one of the things that they come home to, and that is, what do I do? What happens when I get out? Where do I go? Who do I see? They've come back to a strange country,
right?
And everything they touch becomes strange. And counseling amongst the veterans and especially amongst the educational process. And one of the things that have always been brought to my attention is they want the education so bad. But I hope that one day we can, and we're working, and I know OSU is really working on it because they support their ROTC programs, they support the veterans very well. But one of the big things that has been brought to my attention is some of them drop out because they feel like they've been pushed aside in the universities because of their veteran status. Are we addressing that amongst the universities and trying to bring them back into the real world of where they've come into the civilian life?
Well, and I can tell you, when I worked as a campus veteran service officer, that is a major concern amongst every university and community college out there, is how do we support our veterans and make sure that they get the benefits that they deserve and get the services that the school offers to help them be successful in the process. You know, I can't speak for every university and their different program, because each university and community college has a little bit different program, a little different level of support. But I can tell you at Oregon State University that just in the fact that they hired somebody who's dedicated just to the veteran and helping them navigate the process speaks largely in their commitment to helping veterans, you know, make it through and get their education and get a job. You know, just to give you an idea, at Oregon State University, just student veterans that are applying for using a type of VA benefit, we have anywhere between 890 and 900 students. That's a pretty significant population, and that's just individuals that are using benefits. That's not counting the ones that are there that either are out of benefits or don't know about benefits or that type of thing. And so to have somebody on staff who is dedicated to helping them find the resources and the tools that they need to be successful, I think is a huge commitment on the university's level. I mean, that's funds and money that they could have used in different places. But they said, no, we're dedicated to our veterans. We want to make sure they're successful. You know.
Well, I think one of the things that I did want to mention to you is that different organizations out here in the communities, and one of them is the tribute to the troops, and that is that
Victor, do we have time for a call?
We do.
Caller, go ahead. You're on the air with Vet Talk and Victor Kuhns. Do you have a question?
Oh, I was trying to get to the business office.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. We'll send you over to the business office.
Okay, thank you.
And the number is?
Okay, hang on.
Okay, you can call 541-926-8683.
8683.
And we're sitting here talking about veterans today.
Oh, hey, I'm a veteran.
Are you? We're talking with Gus Bedwell from Oregon State University on education and training and how to go about getting your education.
Well, after I left the Navy in 1970, I went to Lynn Benton for 4 years, and then went into the auto body business out of Lynn Benton Community College Auto Body School.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to ask him about further education?
Well, I'm retired and in assisted living right now, so education is probably not my forte right now, but I think the veterans are doing a very good job on helping vets coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan and working to get their degrees.
Well, you mentioned that you were in the military and you left in 1970. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was in from 66 to 70.
Okay. Did you? I'm just a little bit off subject, but did you spend any time in Vietnam by any chance?
Yeah, I was Blue Water Navy, and then for 2 weeks we were up the Saigon River on the USS Black 666 for gunfire support for the Marines in the Delta.
Okay, so have you ever talked to a veteran service officer about any of the benefits you may be able to receive due to Agent Orange
Kim
exposure?
Broom down at the Lynn County veteran service officer has been a real good source of information for veterans here in Albany.
Outstanding. I know Kim personally. She's a great person. She loves to help veterans, that's for sure.
Yeah. There for about 5 years, I was service officer for the American Legion, and we helped homeless vets get food and information from Kim Grooms and the employment office. So, yeah, there's a large support group for homeless veterans here in Lynn County.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, let me thank you for your service. This is exactly why we do what we do, is to help individuals like you that have served our country. And from one veteran to another, I appreciate everything you've done, both in your military and post-military.
Okay, well, thank you for thanking me.
Hey, not a problem.
Okay, you take care and have a good day.
We will.
Okay, bye-bye.
Again, if you have any questions about education and training and programs out here, go ahead and give us a call. One of the things that we're on right now is education and benefits and how to go about getting them. Gus, is there anything you really want the veterans to know when they're going out of here and wanting to get their education?
Okay. So there'd be a couple of things that's really important, especially for our soldiers that are returning most recently. There seems to be a push amongst the veterans that are returning to go right from military service right into the college environment, and it's understandable why they would do that. I mean, they're coming home, their focus is to get a job, to be able, to get education, to get a job, and get back into civilian life. But I have to tell you, there's a lot of conversation out there about taking maybe even a month or two and just decompressing, getting back into the normal day of life, especially if you're a married individual and you've had a spouse that's been taking care of everything and children and whatnot. Take a little bit of time to just breathe and enjoy that. And I know that can be a challenge sometimes, especially if you don't have a job or you're looking for work and everything. But I would say be very careful about jumping right into the school system without taking that time to at least allow yourself the adjustment time. The other part of it is that there's a lot of benefits out there, that are available to the veteran, especially in education, and some of them can be very complicated and confusing. And for instance, the post 9/11 GI Bill has different tiers in how they pay the student and then the school as well. But there's also Reserve and National Guard GI Bill benefits that you may be eligible for, and then there's state waivers and stuff like that for veterans. So what we want to do is make sure to keep in mind as you're going down and applying for those benefits, which one's the best one to use. especially when there's irrevocable decisions on some of them.
Well, talking about benefits, we're going to lose a benefit if we don't take a break.
All right.
And so we need to take our break right now, and we shall be back shortly.
In downtown Albany. Where do you go downtown if you want a good cup of coffee, tasty sandwiches, fresh soup and salads, desserts, and of course a good bottle of wine? The Wine Depot at the Two Rivers Market. Catering to large or small companies available too at the Wine Depot, 967-9499.
Historic Albany has plenty to offer visitors and local Mid-Valley families. There's always something to do. You just have to know where to go. The Albany Visitors Association can help you find that unique experience of Albany and the surrounding area any time of year. So check out the AVA inside the Two Rivers Market.
Your convenient source for premium pet food and supplies is Cool's Feed and Pet Supply. They have a nice stock of wild bird food, feeders, livestock feed, wood pellets, Eastern Oregon, and local hay. Cool's is at 760 Southeast 2nd, where they care for your pets as much as you do. It's all happening in downtown Albany.
Make valuable connections with hundreds of businesses at the Business Expo on Thursday, May 10th. It's the best way to connect and reconnect with companies and organizations right here in your own backyard. Find out why Business Expo is the best business marketing event in the Valley. The Business Expo is sponsored by West Coast Bank, Don Pancho Authentic Mexican Foods, and the Oregon State Fair. For details, go to expo.salemchamber.org or contact the Salem Area Chamber of Commerce.
Looking for that great car deal? At Power Auto Center, they treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. They know that you have high expectations, and believe it, Power Auto enjoys the challenge of exceeding those standards each and every time. With their commitment to excellence, you'll get that great deal you're searching for. See their new models of Buick and GMC and large selection of pre-owned vehicles on the lot and online at PowerCorvallis.com. Feel the power at Power Auto Center today, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis.
Don't miss the 77th Linn County Lamb and Wolf Fair in Scio. It's free. Live entertainment with jazz, hip-hop, and rock and roll. The theme this year is We'll Remember You. Saluting our veterans and servicemen and women. The honored veteran this year is Don Boyanowski. Don't miss the 77th Linn County Lamb and Wolf Fair in Scio. It's free. And features fun for the entire family with a chocolate cake contest at the Covered Bridge Coffee House, hula hoop, talent show, and pie eating contest for the kids. You'll hear Sandy Galloway singer impersonator after the car and motorcycle show. Art, flower, quilt, goat, sheep, and pet shows. A free battle of the bands as everyone dances during the street dance. Shepherd's breakfast on Sunday. For more information, log on to lambfair.org. This message brought to you in part by ScioFeed, the Linn County Lamb and Wolf Fair Association, and K-Gal and K-Show Radio. Hey, don't miss the 77th Linn County Lamb and Wolf Fair in Scio. It's free. May 18th through the 20th.
Jim Bohannon, weeknights on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
And we're back here on the air again, and we're with Gus Bedwell. Gus, one of the things that was brought up to my attention here a little while ago, in my own mind, was disabled veterans.
Okay.
And transportation and getting around the campus. Do we have anything for our disabled veterans to help them maneuver and get around the campus?
Okay. So there is a shuttle that gets you continuously does a loop on Oregon State University's campus. The thing about the shuttle is that it continuously does a loop, and there's different spots where it picks up. You've got to flag them down. It's a great service, but it may not go to every location where the veteran needs to go. So one of the things is, again, talking to Disability Access Services about if there needs to be a classroom modification or a classroom relocation, that type of thing. Again, I have to emphasize that you've got to talk to our Disability Access Services folks, because there's a lot of things that they can do once the information is provided to them, and the things that they can't do, they'll be clear on. So.
Well, Gus, every year and every time I get on the radio, I throw a challenge out there to every person I put on the air.
Outstanding.
And your challenge is that in your community, which is now Corvallis. You're down here. You've got to put up with all of us.
All right.
Is that the focus is that you go to every American Legion and VFW and offer your skills to talk to our veterans coming home.
Okay.
In the community of Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, right here in Lynn County.
And I'd be glad to come to different events and speak about some of the work that OSU is doing and about our veterans and how they're being supported at campus and how they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. They're already the leaders of today, so we know they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. My contact information is on the business card that I gave you. Feel free to share that. And I do get asked quite a bit to talk about education benefits specifically and changes and that type of thing. So glad to do that.
Well, one of the things that I do want to bring up to everybody is I said I give you the challenge here in Lynn County, but I want everybody to know that this Oregon State University and even our community colleges around here is open to anybody and everybody. If you're especially a veteran, which is at my deepest part of my heart, is that if you want that education, I don't care if you live in Louisiana, Tennessee, Washington, D.C., and you want to come out here and go to Oregon State University and you're a veteran, you can still contact Gus Bedwell at Veteran Service at gus.bedwell, B-E-D-W-E-E-L, at OregonState.edu.
Yes.
And he's right there, and he's ready to help you. And if you don't get through to him, leave a message, and he will get back to you. But I want everybody to know that the opportunity of an education is there, and it's there for you. And Gus will do everything he can to make sure that you receive your benefits. And there are benefits out there for older veterans. I believe you said from 30 to 60.
It's 35 to 60.
35 to 60. And let's go over that one more time because we do have older veterans looking to get into programs.
So it is. It's called the Veterans Retraining Assistance Program. It's coming live July 1st of 2012. The application date, the first time you can apply, is May 15th, 2012. They're only going to be able to help over the course of 2 years. 110,000 veterans, okay, and the requirement is that you have to be what they consider severely unemployed, meaning that you've drawn out 1 year's worth of of unemployment insurance benefits, and additionally you have to be between the ages of 35 and 60, and you have to be going into a high demand employment or high demand occupation. There's some information on the VA's website, which is www.va.gov. And I'm also going to be at Oregon State University's Memorial Union Veterans Lounge on May 15th all day long to help anybody who needs some information on that.
So it's really important that they set some time aside and come in and see you and chat with you, and I'm sure you'll have brochures and information that they'll be available for them.
Yes.
Again, we need to remember that Gus Bedwell is out there at Oregon State University. He's ready to have you come in, sit down and talk with him about your education and furthering your career, whether it be going back into the military, ROTC, or just wanting to work on your civilian career. Once again, that we kind of touched on a little bit, is it's important to realize that veterans that are 100% disabled, permanent and total, your family, your children, or your spouses also have benefits coming for education and retraining. There are so many programs out there for veterans right now. If you're looking for scholarships for your children as a veteran, you can go apply online. You can go to the American Legion website. You can apply there. You can apply at the VFW. You can apply at the Tribute to the Troops. Also have an education fund program for scholarships. These are great programs. They're out there for your children and to help you in the future.